I'm about to show you the reason that you are at the bottom of the leaderboard or that you're not going on kill streaks in Vanguard at the moment and how you're going to change that. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so my number one kind of biggest tip is movement. Now, this kind of may seem obvious, but movement is actually a great way to avoid being killed and get extra kills. Now, this is because if you B-hop, if you prone, if you slide cancel, all this kind of stuff, you're going to avoid being shot as well as put yourself in a better position to shoot. So the first thing you need to prioritize is learning the movement of Vanguard. Now the way this works is you're going to want to slide cancel, and every other time you slide cancel your attack sprint will reset. If you play Modern Warfare or Warzone, it's slightly different, but it's pretty similar, as you can see in this gameplay of mine here. Now the way that I do it is I kind of try to slide cancel as much as I can, just like in Warzone, and when I get the opportunity to attack sprint I will, and I will immediately use that to get through doors and through other angles basically to peek it and bunny hop it in order to get the advantage on my opponents. Now as you heard, I mentioned bunny hopping. Bunny hopping is very important, it's very difficult to track, so if you can master the bunny hop, as you can see here, it's the same in Warzone, then you'll be able to throw off the aim of your opponents as well as put yourself in a better position to reach out. Now my second tip is to be strategic. Now despite Blitz seeming like a kind of run at people and die, there's actually so much strategy to Vanguard that you don't realize that learning will help your KD rise by a lot. Now the strategy is basically to learn your map and know where people go. The most simple way to do this is to actually observe where you yourself go, as believe it or not, the majority of people play similarly to you. If you like to camp in a certain spot, the chances are other people do too. If you like to hold certain angles or push through a map the certain way, there is a very high chance everyone else likes to do this. So you need to make sure that you're very observant of this and that you can actually reverse engineer it. Now, I really like playing Das House, Shipment and Dome and those sort of fast-paced blitz maps for camos, and the way that I've done it is I've realized that people like to camp on the B flag behind the little ledge, people like to camp the doorways, people like to prone behind those doorways, and I know exactly where the spawn points are. As you can see in this gameplay here of Das House and Dome and Shipment, I'll cycle through them. I'm very strategic about the angles I peek. For Shipment, I know there's going to be someone camping in this container in the middle, and I know there's going to be people spawning at the C flag and the A flag, so I'm always bunny hopping around the corner using our first tip and then instantly ADSing, pre-firing or pre-aiming those angles where I know they will spawn. Now this will come with time, unfortunately. It's not something that you can just do. You need to play, you need to learn where people go, but trust me, it is worth it. Now my third tip is aim. Now this might sound stupid, but having good aim is a very good way to kill people. I know it sounds glaringly obvious, but after playing aim trainer myself for even just a few weeks of 5 minutes a day, my aim is dramatically better and I'm able to get challenges done, but not only that, I don't miss as many shots and my tracking is significantly better. There's a load of free options, so if you're on PC, you have Kovacs and you have Aim Lab, which are a great way that you can train your aim to be better, and if you're on controller, unfortunately there aren't really any good kind of aim trainer alternatives, but what you can do is you can go into bot lobbies in multiplayer and you can play against them and you can learn the best sensitivity for you for tracking, and you can learn the best ways for you, I guess, with your thumb movements. Now I know there's also paid ways for controller players to get better. This involves buying these things called control freaks that basically make all your movements more precise, or if you can play claw or buy paddles for your controller, this gives you more kind of options in order to improve your aim, but really it's a thing which comes with time. Now my penultimate tip is to not be scared. Now this is a very quick one. Basically, if you find yourself on a 10 streak, you've used all these tips so far and you're doing well, you need to make sure that you do not slow your pace down. This happens to me myself and I'm still improving, but what you need to do is if you go on a 10 streak, there's a reason you've gone on it. You've played aggressive and you've got your kills. So why do you need to camp now to get the nuke? You don't. You can play the exact same way to get those next 15 kills and then drop the V2 rocket. I know it sounds stupid, like surely you want to slow down the pace to be a bit more careful. It puts you into this mindset of changing up the strategy and slowing down your pace, and you'll eventually get caught. So the best way to go on high streaks, to be honest, is use the same tactic you've got those first 10 with to get the next 10 with. Now my final tip is actually for comms. Despite this multiplayer game being single player, it is also there's a game chat element, and if you ever do competitive league or if you do Warzone, comms are essential. I'm going to play a quick snippet here of the CDL league teams and how they have their Vanguard comms, and you'll see how important they are.
You're pushing your side, pushing, there's 20 on your side.
Here.
No, I'm nading over. They're gonna be, I'm nading top.
As you can tell, their comms are immaculate, they're calling out everything, they're holding angles, they're using all the tips that I've previously mentioned, which shows it's not just me saying it, the Call of Duty pros, the people who use this as their job, are doing the same thing. So you need to make sure, if you're playing with friends or you're playing with teammates and you're trying to step your level up, you're trying to play League, trying to play tournaments, these comms are very important. So overall, those are my 5 top tips: movement, aim, strategy, being scared of kind of pushing gunfights, and also comms. If this helped you and you think you're going to get better, make sure to leave a like down below, as well as leaving a comment as any other videos you'd like to see. I am planning to make a video on how to get your camos faster, and that will come in the future. Thank you all for watching to the end. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.